here we go again. My friends, shut the fuel off there a second ago, but I think that's going to do it. I'm surprised, and I'm also not surprised at the very same time. Howdy, my friends, and welcome to the channel today. There's a hand crank down there. I'm Luke, Thunder. This is going to be a Thunder Farm pants head whatever video because I have 10,000 pounds of manure out in the field, and I told my wife this weekend when she was gone I would spread all that, and I didn't, and it's the last day. And so I have this wheel. I need to put this wheel on this tractor so I can use it because this other tractor's got some other issues. And anyway, so with that, let's just jump right in. This is the most ridiculous farm machinery you're going to see today. All right, got it all jacked up here and out of gear. I bought this bad boy at an auction because I felt bad for it. No one would bid on the thing, and so the starting bid was $300. I gave the $300, brought it home, got it running, and I actually ran my baler with this little Allis Chalmers. This thing is a tank. I just cannot believe that this thing can do all that. Who would have ever thought? It's got a pretty hefty load on it. We're really pushing it at this point. Okay, roll forward just a little bit. You made it just in time. The tire just blew. Roll forward. Keep going. Right there. Yep. Shut her down. She did her job. Just enough.
I thought it was really hanging up at the end, maybe more resistance.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That
kept thinking maybe I was low on power or something, but
that rim's had enough. And it did great right up until the very last cutting of the season. And I'm not kidding you, at the very end, it got everything it was supposed to do done. And then it blew out the rim because they put, I don't know, salt water or something back in the day. But anyway, I have this spare guy, and then hopefully start this thing for the first time since August, September time frame. That humongous pile right there is what I'm dealing with. That's all the poop you made over winter. How do you feel about that? Oh no, I'm pretty sure it was you. These are some of the harder wheels to take off as far as tractors go, in my opinion. Oh well, I spoke too soon. I was gonna say it was coming apart really nice. Look at it flexing this rusted out rim. Holy cow. Okay, so it turns out the city kid getting beat by farm stuff yet again. Oh, what do you know? I kind of figured with the way that was moving, there's a little offset cam where you, which is actually pretty ingenious, where you put it all in there. Granted, if you lose one of these, you're screwed, but you put it all in there and then you adjust it so it's tight. Now, what I was doing, like a genius, was obviously whipping the adjustment around and flexing the wheel. I'm assuming if the wheel isn't compromised, it actually doesn't move like that, but I don't know. Interesting. So whew, that wasn't so bad once you know what's going on, especially with Jesus. All things are possible. Want to hang on to that for me for a second, buddy? Thank you. I think the name of the game here is I left this, what I would call a keyed position, in place. It goes inside this locking deal here. We did it. We did it. Now there's probably a manual for how to do these, so you see this is what I was trying to land between here. And then I got another one that isn't adjustable, so I got that on the wheel. I'm just trying to very casually hammer it in. All right, thank you, sir. Oh, where's our last one? So the first time I did this, I put it in upside down, but basically I'm gonna have the adjustment up, so it should go in easy. It should go in easy, thank you. I love when mechanical things like to prove me wrong, so that really wasn't that bad if you get past all the bad parts. All right, rotated so they're locked in place. Holy, unholy, yin and yang, good and evil. All right, we got some gasoline here, maybe. Yep, okay. That is coming out. We got some coolant. Can't tell if it's low or not, but wouldn't be surprised if it leaks out of anything and everything. These old tractors, after they've sat a long time and you get them going, they just have a tendency to leak fuel and coolant and everything. It's not a fast leak, but over the winter when they sit, well, anyway, what's in here ends up mostly down there. While that's doing its thing, we're gonna borrow a battery from our good friend right here. So this one was reined in for years. I got it kind of unstuck, the engine and the differential. But anyway, that's a story for a different day. Do I not? Am I stupid? What's going on here? Nope, I just was using my little girl arms apparently. Watch your feet here, Franz. I don't want to smash them off. Get out of there. Ah, good enough. All right, fuel is on and leaking. So you know it's flowing if it's leaking. Hopefully this doesn't turn into one of those Gomer Pyle revivals that all the kids are doing these days. I don't really have time for all that tomfoolery. Do I not have a choke lever? I don't remember. On this one, oh yeah, that's where it would go. What do you know? Maybe this guy? All right. The starter lever is down here and ignition is on. Oh, big surprise. Tell you what, these tractors, man, if you even halfway maintain them, they'll just run. Would be nice to be able to run the choke at the same time, so take our choke off. And ouch, hit my shin on everything. Come over here. Maybe a little bit of throttle. What do you say? I like it. What do you think, Franz? So with that, my friends, I think we're in business. Get the heck off my tractor. I never have a good spot to store my Halloween equipment, so I put them in cars because I'm a weirdo. Haven't opened this in a while. Oh yes, sunshine. And I always like kicking it old school, so we're gonna let the engine itself air up its own tire because, I don't know, it just seems period correct and like the thing to do. And I always forget the tractors don't have an overflow expansion tank. The expansion tank is actually part of the radiator, so if you fill them all the way up, when everything heats up and expands, well, it's gonna just run right out on the ground. So it's kind of a self-leveling apparatus here. So I got it all installed here, and these are pretty cool. Like I said, you remove a spark plug, hook up the adapter, you have your tube that goes down, and then it pumps into the tire with the engine. So tractors, they're pretty good at running on 3 cylinders here, so we're just gonna refire the engine. There it goes, it's running on 3 cylinders, and it's filling this tire, we hope. There it goes. And some people might say, hey, you're putting like something that's gonna be a bomb into the tire, you know, an air gas mixture that's explosive. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so because the valve is designed not to do that. But on the off chance, we're just gonna put a lighter in front of this thing and see if there's anything flammable coming out of it. Probably a little bit. All right, so here it is, hooked up. So, see? You can see it kind of distorting the flame, blowing the flame out. Probably not the safest thing to test right next to the gas tank, but I was pretty confident. The thing about engineers back in the day is when they designed something and said it worked, you know, they have a lot of pride and honor and respect, and we're people of principle. And obviously when they made this, they designed it to work, and boy does it work well. So pretty nifty little apparatus in my opinion. So I think with that, we're ready to go with the tractor side of things. I have Franz back in the original Swastika, which is just about as awful to work on as it is to look at. You can see he just looks right at home in there, doesn't he? I have a pretty love-hate relationship with Volkswagens. Mostly, I love to hate them because they are super frustrating to work on. Everyone says they're the easiest vehicle to work on. I don't know if the people who say that have ever worked on anything else or anything in general. It's one of those things that gets perpetuated around the internet. And dude, straight up, it's just not true. I promise you. All right, here we go. Just like clockwork, baby. Okay, that wasn't so good. Huh. I'm gonna just twiddle my thumbs, let it spin down. Ah, there we go. That never happened. You all didn't see that. All right. Take her for a little scenic drive through the Iowa countryside. Winter just got done here, so it's like almost May and we haven't had any nice weather like this. So it's like 60 degrees outside and this is bikini weather. everything's good and tight again. So I think we're good as far as that's concerned. Off to round 2 with my friends here to lock them up so we can do what we're going to do for the next 37 million hours. The way to a horse's heart is obviously through its stomach, so they know I'm going in here to feed them. So, I mean, they'd walk right off a cliff if they thought they were going to get something to eat out of it. We try and use these hay nets because it kind of moderates the speed of which they go through the hay, but at the same time, you got to be careful. Right when you drop it in, they like to eat from the top, and I used to have 6 fingers on this hand, and now I only have 5. So I learned my lesson there. So on to phase 2 here. This is the smallest skid loader that I'm aware of that was ever manufactured, the Case 1816B. So it is a colossal hunk of junk, and it looks like a clown skid loader when I get in it, but she takes a little bit of liquid courage after she's been sitting to get going, mostly because it's been repowered and the gas tank is way down there, the fuel pump's up here, you know, yada yada. So off she goes, and we're just going to, that's probably good. It's probably going to explode now. And if you did notice, that's part 3 right over there. Oh, already had some out here. All right. Of course the battery isn't making connection. Why would the battery work? Because these are so small, it makes them incredibly difficult to work on, actually. So, is that gonna do it? Nope. All right, I'm running out of patience. It's definitely this positive cable. All right. This is what you get. Very precarious here. Sounds good. There we go, finally got it. Didn't want to give you guys a picture of my nutsack. You can see these levers are getting worse and worse when I let go. Taking off backwards anymore these days. Getting pretty worn out, I think. Fixed. Don't need that today. Just don't put your feet in the chain drive and you'll be all right. Go get our manure spreader hooked up. That's definitely my least favorite piece of machinery that I've ever owned. I got it for almost nothing and fixed it and got it going, but man, it was parked because it was wore out, and it's wore out 3 times over since I've owned it now. Back to the good stuff here. No hydraulics, all mechanical, the good stuff. Oh, clutch is a little sticky after sitting all winter in that humid old building, but tractors don't care. Look at that pile of junk. All right, we're getting there. It's kind of a lengthy setup with one guy. Probably not quite as lengthy if your machinery wasn't purchased for $3, but beggars can't be choosers. Doesn't stop me from complaining though. Makes me feel better. All right, so we're gonna bring this baby about face right here. Park it, set the parking brake, and we're gonna go spread it out in this pasture field. Oh, we're not gonna shut the tractor off. Do I know what I'm doing? There we go. I must go the other way with this? Question mark? I think I used to be able to go that way, but since our horses decided that they're beavers, anyway, so I kind of made some tomfoolery to kind of hold this together, or else, you know, they'd walk right over the water and out into the field and probably eat too much bloat and die, because that's what horses do. All right, that's enough being cynical. On to the fun part, where this thing should be good and warm, where it's minimally ornery. Obviously, I don't want to shut it down, I'll tell you that much. So I generally back that up into the poop dust so it doesn't run away on me. Again, obviously I don't want to shut it down. So now, like I said, this is much better with two people. Put her in gear and we do a wheelie because the clutch is rusty. And we're going to do our business with someone else's business. Oh boy, we're not gonna make poop jokes today, all right? But one thing I will say when you're doing this, you wanna keep your mouth closed, especially on that skid loader, else you just get a bunch of poop dust right in your mouth. It's not what you want. Well, if it is, I don't think you and I would be friends. Now what's nice about this AC is I can actually reach around here because I got really long arms and engage everything. So we'll try position 1 here. So now we'll just let out our clutch. And our manure spreader is ground driven. It does its job pretty well. It's kind of a fun game. You play how long does it take until a big clod of shit comes up and lands on the top of your head, because it'll happen at least 10 times. Very exciting. I think that's the first time I've ever cussed on the internet, so you're welcome, but I think it was relevant today. Ain't nothing to it, my friends. Once you're done, you bring her on back, disengage the drives, and we do it all over again.